Hello, this is Rico Caveglia. I want to welcome you to this episode of the Fearless Aging Podcast, where in every episode, my guests and I and my co-host, Jon Jew, we strive to offer you proven tips and strategies that you can implement immediately to greatly improve your overall health and well-being. So we're here to inspire you and empower you to become your best self so you can go out and make a bigger positive difference in the world. And today we have a little bit of a different podcast. We have a guest with us today that we'll introduce. And but first, Jon, say hello, introduce yourself, and again, as we like to always start off with you stating our mission statement for this podcast.
Hello, everybody. Yes, I'd be very happy to talk about our mission statement. Our mission is to empower elders 60 and over to achieve optimal mental, physical, and financial health, enabling them to live longer, healthier lives while sharing their wisdom to mentor younger generations and help solve today's global challenges.
Very good. And before we introduce our guest, our sponsor, which is Pure Cafe Coffee, we have a little video from our sponsor. So I'm going to share my screen here. I think. Come on. Wow. Well, I'm clicking on share and nothing's happening. I don't know what's going on. Oh, there. Share screen. Share. Okay. Share screen.
Yeah, I just like to say that what we're doing here is introducing our coffee, our healthy coffee, which is very symbolic of what you put into your body. And it's really developing really good habits about what you do put in your body and to know what you're putting in your body. And something like healthy coffee is the second most widely drank beverage in the entire world. So this can hit home for a lot of people.
Okay, let's see. I don't know if that's on our screen or not. Can you guys see the screen or not?
I see it. It says untitled, edited.
It's all the narrative. It just hadn't seemed real.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. I don't know. I did something wrong here. I don't know why it's not working. Well, I guess we'll just have to get back in. I don't know what happened with the video. Okay. We'll go ahead and introduce our guest, Jon. Jon.
Sure, be happy to. Who I'd like to introduce is the third person here on your screen is William Goodwin. William has been a real instrumental person in leading this. What we have here is a shift in our mindsets. And he has a personal story that is just phenomenal. And where he is today has brought him to a place where not only has he helped himself tremendously, but he can help others do what they do. And I'd like you, William, to really tell your story and to tell you, your background. Go ahead and do that because you have a phenomenal story to tell others who really want to go down the path that you can lead them to. Thank you.
Jon, I really appreciate that. And Rico, thank you for having me as well. It's a blessing to be here and an honor as well. I'm William Goodwin, the founder and leader of the initiative. And to go to the backstory behind all this and now bring it forward is many years or decades of my life was dedicated to building businesses and living off the world's values of success and building upon that. During that whole time, I didn't realize that the cost was accumulating of building up what would become wealth and titles and stature and all those things that come along with thinking that you got to climb your way to the top. And I got lost along the way. And by the time I think about 5 years ago, I got to a point where my self-worth was shot, my self-esteem was gone. It didn't really matter anymore. So everything I worked, it turned out okay, but it never was successful. More importantly, it never fulfilled me. And there was no joy in my life. And ended up about losing my life. I became an alcoholic, and I lost my liver. And when I lost my liver, it knocked out my kidneys. And so as I'm laying on my deathbed in 2019, looking back all the time, I invested in all of these different things, mattered not. It was not something that bared fruit, but it definitely carried a lot of scars along with it, and a lot of people were scarred from it. So there was a high cost. So by the grace of God, obviously, I'm still here. I've been blessed with 2 transplants, thankfully, and on a mission. And the mission is to enlighten people a way of being in their own leadership, to live a life worth living and being intentional about it and living out their purpose. Now, that's an easy thing to say, but it's a difficult thing to find in oneself. And that's bringing us to the point of Leader U, is surrounding people that have the capabilities, the wherewithal, resources to help you become you and realize what your values are, what your purpose is, a way of being, no matter what age. It could be young, it could be old. In fact, I encourage a lot of us, the older folks in this, my generation and older, we have a wealth of information to share in experiences. And I don't think it's getting out there to the younger people, and I believe they're looking for it. And they need guidance, they need help, they need us. And the initiative is to raise those leaders up, to come out of either retirement, or come out of where you are in your place that's not feeling fulfilled, and start making a difference in your life. And making a difference in your life is going to make a difference in others' life, making it transformational, meaning that's not transactional anymore. And that's the way I was. Transformational is a totally different category. It's because you're investing into other people. And that's getting intimate with your time. It's getting intimate with people, is connecting people and connecting with resources in a way that's going to bolster a tribe, if you will, to where we all succeed, which is a win-win. And this is what this is all about. So coming to this point and going through leadership training, this summit came about. And this is what we're talking about today, is the Leader of You Summit, Leading Beyond Limits, because we all think we have some, but we certainly go by them with the right training and understanding, self-awareness. And we want to awaken the leader in you. So we have put together, and Rico and Jon are both part of the summit, and I am thankful for it. They bring a tremendous amount of knowledge, experience, guidance, opportunities, possibilities. And each of these speakers are bringing this to the table, and contribution is free. And it's an investment into yourself. And, take a moment and register. We'll put the link out shortly, and get registered. It starts tomorrow and it runs 10 days. So, guys, I'd like for you to also jump in here too and talk about it. I know a lot of it, Jon, you're into health and wealth, and Rico definitely into health. You've got a whole, decades of experience in that genre. And bringing this together. So, first we need to be able to have a better way of being, and that starts with our health. Because if we don't have good health, what do we really have? And also, health is not just about your physical body; it's also in your spiritual body, in your essence. It impacts the way you think, in your mindset, in your clarity, way of being. I know Jon's coffee impacts that as well. I don't know how many billions of coffee drinkers there are. I don't know the stat, but there's a lot. But what is in that coffee? Did you ever stop and look on it? I know a lot of the coffees that have been grounded, they have fillers in it. That does nothing for you. I know Jon's does. I know it has mushrooms in it, in which I use a lot of that because it keeps my mental clarity. It's fuel for my brain. And last time I checked, the mushroom looks like a brain, at least the dome of it. And that's the way God creates the things, like broccoli and cauliflower. Things are also nutritional for your mind as well. So a lot of this information that we're sharing right here in this recording, in this podcast, there's a whole plethora of that type of information waiting for you to learn and to enjoy, actually, and to watch over and over again if you upgrade to the VIP experience, to absorb all those nuggets that we're sharing. 18 speakers, and that's a lot.
Yeah.
William,
on
I'd
it.
like to ask you, I'd like to ask you a question. What we all are about is offering value to our listeners, people who want to hear what we have to say as far as what's in it for them. And I think that what you went through, your very interesting, phenomenal story about your health journey and where you are today and where it's brought you is that what I get out of that is that you are in a very good place now, in such a good place that you have value to offer others and the support of others. What would you suggest as a first step for somebody who kind of went, because it's so common, to whatever degree I went through it, Rico has gone through it. We all as human beings have gone through struggles with in this case, our health and our wellness. So what would you suggest for somebody as far as making a shift in their thinking or whatever it is, they're going down a path that they're not really happy with, but they know within themselves that there is a better way? What would you suggest as a first step?
Well, the first thing is being aware that you need to make a change. All right. So that's the first step. And the second step is to find a leader in the area that's made a difference, that's come from adversity, that has the knowledge base and the experience to share to lead the way. And that's the whole essence of being a leader of you. It's understanding in order to lead, you got to follow. And you need to get that information. I know Jon and Rico both are tremendous leaders in this field, and they can guide you easily enough to lead you to a way to regain your health. And when you regain your health, as again, there's multiple layers. The human body is just a shell. All right, that's the last element in it. You can get your heart, your spirit right, get your mindset right, be committed, take committed action on it, and make a choice that this door's don't shut behind you, because you realize that's not a way to be anymore. That's where I was. Like, this is no way to be. It did not support me. It will not sustain me. It's going to kill me. All right. And so you got to make that choice that I don't accept that. So my next step, like you asked, Jon, is to find somebody like you. I would call you up. What do I need to do to impact my health in a way being that's going to sustain me to live a longer life? And Rico, you mentioned a stat I'd like for you to bring up again. Today's society in America, especially, I think the length of living a decent life ends at 58 and starts to decay and goes down. And I think we had mentioned that, and biblically, I know for a fact, a lot of these people live to like 100, 125 years old.
Yeah.
So,
as a matter of fact, science now tells us our genetic potential is to stay healthy and live to at least 125. That's our genetic potential. So that could be our lifespan. But yet we know in America, our life expectancy is only about 76, which has actually come down. And we also know the reason for that is it's not our genes. So we can't blame it on that. It's actually our unhealthy lifestyles. It's what's bringing people down and making them old and sick and dying way too young. So that's really what we're all about, to let people get educated to realize that they don't have to buy into the normal way things are and just accept, well, that's just the way it is. We're all going to get old and sick and maybe end up in a nursing home and die in our 70s. If you accept that, well, then and you believe that, that's what you're going to create. So that's our main message is you have to change your mindset on that. You have to believe that you can stay healthy, and then you've got to get educated and learn what you need to do. And that's what this podcast is all about, so that you can create optimal health and longevity in your own life. And then you can be a leader. And I just want to comment on that. I want to thank you, William, for putting this summit together. I think it's so valuable. And because what I want to say is, we're not here just to survive and get through this life and maybe have a few little, joyful times in our life. We're here to be leaders. We all have a great purpose. We all have something to contribute to make it a better world for everybody. And so that's what we need. We need more people to be leaders and step up and lead by example. That's what I like to say. A good leader to me is someone who leads by example in every aspect of their life. So I think this leadership, something you put together, is going to be really valuable.
I agree. And this is the first, just be pointed out to the audience. 6 months ago, this was not even conception. So I want to show you the possibilities of having a vision, having a purpose, lining it up, take committed action to make it happen. Here's a launch in tomorrow, starting tomorrow, going through 15 days of something that was not even in existence is possible. And you can lead your life that way. And you know what? This was fun. And it was fun in such a way, even though the difficult parts, the hard parts, and all the mechanical parts was entirely worth it because of the connections that I was blessed to have in this, has expanded the reach, expanded my knowledge, expanded the capabilities that I can serve a community and uplift and build and enlighten them so they can go out and lead. It's all transformational, but it comes from a decision to get it done and believe in it, that it can happen. And that's what this whole thing's about, is every one of us has everything in us already to make it happen for your lives. It's a choice, and you get to choose it.
Yeah,
and
you just got
choose life.
You just got to step up and take action. As you said, amazing things open up, when you actually step into it, whatever you say, here's what I can do to make a difference. And here's what's in my mind or in my heart that I know that I can make a contribution. And when you just go for it, things just open up.
It does. It's like, it's just like God opens the door. Okay, you got the key, let's run.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing. And just the power of the connections, the love, the outpouring, the value that just comes from this. I mean, it's exponential, it's magnifying, it's fulfilling. Because you're on the playing field. You're with the team. You're meeting new team members. You're sharpening each other, and you're setting your goals high, and you're playing bigger than you ever played in your life. And it's being alive. For once, I feel very alive, connected to who I am. I'm a very authentic person, and no apologies. I live with no apologies because I know who I am now. And I know what God's purpose is. And I know I'm a connector. And I know that I'm a very curious person and I always want to learn. So making it happen and living that life. And that's the choice. I mean, for example, a lot of teachers have retired that have been restricted by our educational system. There's only a certain way they can teach. There's now ways, and I have in my own community now, a way to have you be able to teach a course that's true to your heart and get back out there virtually and reach people and teach it the way it was meant to be taught and not have your hands cuffed. And I know there's a lot of teachers that have taught me are still out there that still have a purpose they want to teach and they don't know how. And this is a community that you can get into, get yourself fit, get your mind straight, get it set. Live intentionally with a purpose. There's resources here, folks, that you can take advantage of and live the life that you always want and support yourself. It really made me very, very upset when I talked to my mother not too long ago. And she said, son, that I'm really struggling here. I got your dad's retirement. He's passed on. I get Social Security. I do crafts and I sell it online and I still can't make it. And that burnt me up. It really burnt me up, and it fueled me in such a way that this is the reason part of the summit is here, is to address this generation as well. So much experience, so much things that can contribute, but we got to get you connected, and we got to get you information, and we got to get you healthy. You all have been marketed too. I think even starting in the 1950s with TV dinners, probably the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
And that started the downfall. And when I came around in the 60s, we migrated on past TV dinners. Now we're getting processed foods. Definitely in the 70s when the FDA approved it. And because of all that, and yes, I'm speaking to this generation, I'm part of it, and going on forward, we were highly marketed to, this is what you're supposed to eat. Eat your Wheaties. That's horrible stuff. That's probably the worst stuff you could ever eat. And it's manufactured food. It's not real food. And these gentlemen right here know that. And that's what they're teaching you in these podcasts. Start eating right, eating real God-given food and eat it in the way it's meant to eat, and bring it back to your table and support your local communities, your farmers who are growing it. and quit selling out to the big boxes. They're trying to kill you. All right, so change that mindset, get educated, let these guys help you, guide you in this journey. They're quite qualified to do that if you let them.
Yeah.
And start just realizing you have so much possibilities in front of you right now that you don't know, but start becoming aware. And again, this is the awareness part that the leader of you is in vision of in journey to awaken people.
Yeah.
Get them on the playing field.
Yeah, what you're saying really resonates very loud and clear as far as what I've heard that just really came out here is God's purpose. God's purpose for who we are as people, as individuals. And our purpose is as simple as identifying it and having that self-awareness. And how do you get there? And what we have right here, and we have resources, and your summit is going to give them even more resources.
Yes.
About making it very simple to do. And it's really as easy as, and this is my formula, and I think we can all share it in whatever way we do. Health plus wealth equals purpose. If you have your health, if you have your financial freedom to, in this world today, so much is relied upon our financial and monetary well-being, which it can get really warped and tainted. But if we put it right down to what our purpose is in life, health plus wealth equals purpose, then we can guide people along to show them that it's very as simple as just doing a simple mind shift and just keeping things really simple to know who you are. And you, as you connect more deeply with yourself to your purpose and what God has given all of us, every single, no exceptions, we have a purpose in life. And when you discover that purpose, life gets really simple and easy.
Absolutely. May I expand on that equation a little bit? Because that's something else we've been taught and been taught for a long time ago is to do. We go to school, get a higher education, learn trade, and then we're off to work. And then we go to work and we earn a wage and trade our life away for that in the hopes of having a retirement to be what we always wanted to be at the end of the game. And I'm going to say it out flat. Satan's got a beautiful way to interceding and blocking God off in an attempt. And something simple as this. We are supposed to be first and foremost. He gave us the word. The word creates. It creates life or death. It comes out right out of your mouth, off your tongue. You speak it in life or you speak it in death. All right, that's the way of being. All right. And we want to be first because we can't be in the vision if we're just doing. Doing's doing your to-do list. Doing's going out to work and doing the job and come back home. Where's the vision? The real equation is you speak life, you be, you create, then go do the action and get your result. And don't get caught up in this cycle that we've been caught up with. And it seems like it's too late in our life to say, oh my gosh, I got trapped in it, but it's not. We were taught to do in order to have. And we left off the vision and the be part. So there's no real direction. You're just doing, and it's sick of it. Until it comes to a point where you get sick and tired of it because the results are off. You're out of alignment. You're not in your spirit, your core spirit of being. You're not knowing your values. Not true to yourself. Didn't know you fell out of authenticity and integrity and accountability with yourself because you sold the farm and didn't even know that you sold the farm.
Yeah, I just want to add to that what you were saying, William, is it's the whole equation as you said. We get a job and go to school and get a job, and then you work hard, and so you can the whole concept of the golden years is not a good concept. So you can retire and then you can really enjoy your life. So that always reminds me of the famous saying, it's not the destination, it's the journey. You got to live and enjoy the journey. It's not about the destination. So that we got the whole wrong concept here. We need to be alive and well and thriving and enjoyment and making a difference right now, today, every day. And we, there's a great thing that I always remember saying when I first heard Deepak Chopra speak. And then the thing he said was, you want to have the right intentions for your life, but leave the details to the universe. You don't know how it's going to turn out. So, just go out there and don't be concerned. In other words, if you're doing something just for a specific result, first of all, most likely you're going to be disappointed anyway, because that may not be the best way for it to turn out anyway, so don't worry about the results. Just get out there and live your life.
Absolutely. And that's a hard lesson I learned. I think that's the thing that led me to the point where I nearly died. It was the destination. I was always living for the destination.
Yeah.
And yet the destination never manifested itself in a way that mattered.
Right.
And I kept chasing it all the way to my grave. And that was about idiotic. I must say for myself, that's about the most idiotic thing I've ever done in my life. And it was. So the journey is the journey, and we're meant to live a journey. And you're absolutely spot on, Rico. Leave space for things that can change. Don't be so rigid in what you want, because you're killing yourself and you're blocking yourself from blessings that can occur. Okay. Had I decided to keep on one topic in a one-way direction in the summit, I would have not met these gentlemen. Mm-hmm. I would have not met a lot of people, because I had it very close-minded exactly what I had envisioned. And then I just thought, no, I'm not going to control that, because that's not I'm not in control of the universe. I'm barely in control of myself. So let it be. Okay, let it be. There again, the word being, human beings. That's who we are. And if we go on this journey, stop and smell the roses, enjoy the scenery, enjoy the friendship, the connection, and walk in that direction and see what manifests. You might just find out. You might have the most joyful life ever that you experience when you let go and surrender like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well said, Rico.
Well, William, why don't you tell us some more about the summit? Who some of the other speakers and some of the other some of the other topics? Yeah,
absolutely. I have some financial architects and leaders, Rachel Stanhope and Laura Harper. They tie in a full package of business, taxes, tax law, tax code. They actually have an attorney on their side. Yeah, don't let the word attorney scare you. And then retainers and all that, and all those bad things. Having a tax lawyer on your side in business is very important, because now you can know tax strategy. They know how the legal bounds of it. They complement a CPA, your accountant. Rachel deals with trust, insurance, and also taxes. So as we're getting older in our life, we are able to have a strategy to transfer wealth and protect it. One of her stories was that she had I'm going to get the word, mother and father that had a higher functioning disabled child, but they couldn't exist alone. And they passed on, and this child was supposed to have money that they say ended up going to the government. The government decided how they spend it for it. And of course, that child suffered. Had they known how to structure it with the insurance and with the trust, that would have never happened, and that child would have that money, and somebody had been a custodian and do it. So it's all about that. There is a myriad of ways to manage it. We all have the same tax code. Billionaires are, $1,000 a year, or it doesn't matter, same tax code. So these people are experts in putting together strategies that protect you, build your wealth, keep you knowledgeable in direction. So that's one arm of it. And then, of course, we have health and wellness. We have Esteban Lutz, and he is an excellent mindset, physical coach that teaches you how to get in shape. And his specialty is losing the body fat in a very efficient manner that doesn't take you hours in the gym, but it also gets you in a good health, and it gets you into a great mindset. And he too came from adversity, from losing it all. He's been in the industry for 30 years and completely lost everything. And yet here he is, a successful business owner, a husband, has chickens running on his farm. He gets fresh farm eggs every morning, and he's living a great life. And so there's another value. And these gentlemen right here, as I said, they have a wealth of information in nutrition and health and ways of being. It's because they lived a long life, and they're being vulnerable and having the courage to stand up right now in front of everybody and share that and make a difference in everybody's life. And that's what we're here for, is to help and support one another, fix our bruised heels. We all have them.
Exactly. I'd like to just add on to that, William, as far as how it goes and the people. And the people we're talking to directly here is I want to be a little disruptive. I want to be a little disruptive because, we do have enough experience and enough wisdom to see, our own stories as they have evolved and where we are today. And, our wisdom comes into the point where we actually see people leading the lives that we led or didn't lead, but know how the results are going to be. And if it's going in a direction that is going to bring them to a point where they're not going to be their best as they age, as they get, older because of the habits that they've got, then the disruption that I'm going to give it is that we know those stories. We know those stories. We've seen them. We've lived them. We've seen them. And what we can do with the summit, what we can do as experts about living this long and living it right now to, thriving and being very happy with where we are today. That's not going to happen to 90% of the people we might be talking to because they're on that. Self-awareness is not there. And so if they continue, and, I'm not shaking my finger at anybody, but I'm just being a little disruptive here, saying that, unless you get that self-awareness, you're not going to continue on to have a happy, healthy life. You're going to be the stories that we've seen, 9 out of 10 people, when they hit their 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, all that has manifested. All those habits have manifested. So it's time to wake up.
I agree. And I thank you for saying that because that's beautifully well said. And had I listened a long time ago to that information, that wisdom, my life may have been different. So if you're hearing that, I would rewind that and hear it again and again and again, because this has happened. This is generational. One of the rules of success, if you want to become successful in your life, whatever that is to you, is to look at not only the successes that the person had, but also the failures they had along the way. Mm-hmm. I can tell you, there's no successful person in this world that hadn't had a lot of failures in their life. So do you want to go relive them and invest your time into going that long road, which is not a wise thing to do? It's not being intimate with your time that you get on this planet at all. Or listen to people like Jon and Rico, who's seen the cycles of life. Because I can tell you right now, being right at 60, I'm starting to see the cycles too. I'm seeing the 70s repeat themselves right now in a magnified way that's beyond imagination. That's not counting what they've seen in their lives as well. So stop, listen, absorb what Jon just said. That's a big pearl. So thank you for that. Thank you. And go ahead, Rico.
I want to add, we're just listening to you guys, what you were saying, it just brought to my mind, how I've never met one person that I asked this, or one person that I asked this question who's over 40. Everybody over 40 has said, gosh, I wish I had known what I know now when I was 20, right? Everybody says that. And so, you know what? I actually wrote an ebook. It's called Step Your Game Up. It's for 18 and 20-year-olds. And I kind of outlined all the basic things, about relationships and health and finance and all those things that if you just start doing this now, you won't have to say that to yourself when you're 40. But how that relates now, I think, is it relates now at any age, because if let's say you're 50 or 60 now, so we don't want you to, when you're 70 or 80, say, dang, I wish I'd have known that stuff now, and then I wouldn't end up in the position I'm in now when I'm 70 and 80 and all that. So that's what this summit's all about. So learn what you need to know right now, so you won't have to say that 10, 20 years from now, dang, I wish I'd have known this, when I was that age. So that's what kind of what this is all about. We're going to help you with some really good things that you can implement right now, so you won't have to say that 10 to 20 years from now.
That's wonderful, and it's not too late to share that before the summit goes live, Rico.
Yeah.
If you want me to put that out there and send me the link, I'll offer that out there. I want to read it myself.
I'll send it to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, that's the beautiful thing about virtual summits too. You get to modify them. I'm going to bring back. In fact, the way this is going, I have a calling on me to say, let's just do this again in January. Let's send this summit out, because it's such great information, and there's so many people that hadn't heard it yet I think it would be wise just to do an encore edition in January. But listen to it now. Don't go wait until January. So don't. All right, just don't. Time is now. Life is now. Do it now. Then rewatch it in January.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Well, why don't you go ahead and tell people, and then we'll also put the links and stuff in the show description. But tell people how they can join. It's a free summit, so tell people how they can get involved, and also tell them a little bit about the format. You say it's going to be for 10 days. I mean, how much material is out there for each day?
Well, it's a combination of 2 a day, and then towards the end of it, there's going to be single ones a day. Basically, I'm trying to script in where I could group it, like with Rachel and Laura starting tomorrow, you and Esteban are next, and just going in succession. And we have there's one other one in health and wellness. Her name's Dr. Jacqueline Gutierrez, and she is about frequency tuning. In the universe, we are all created in vibrational frequencies and energy at the core. Like I said, we're shelled with the body. It's matter. But deep inside, we're light. We're in sound. All right. So we're a whole spectrum of energy on it. And the things that I realized in going through the summit is how much vibration impacts our lives. Mm-hmm. Things that are disharmonious to us will put us out of vibration. Then when that comes out of vibration, it starts manifesting into the physical, and it manifests into specific organs. I didn't know, for one, that a lot of stress in males or even business owners translate to knee issues. Mm-hmm. And I look back on it and said, well, I think you're right, because I know a bunch of guys with a bunch of knee issues in their business. And it's just, we don't know how we're so beautifully created in so many ways. We're just now getting enough information back to science and seeing how all our ways we're integrated together, and the things that are available to us to keep us tuned up in good fitness, good health. This has really just been transformational with myself. So she's coming up right after you guys. And then we roll into business and marketing strategy. I have people like Russ Devine, who he's got an excellent course for those in the network marketing business model for education. And that's an excellent way to build a small business. It's your own business. The network marketing part is actually network distribution. It's just a model, but you own the business. You own a part of that business. And he teaches leadership and how to talk to people, how to prospect, and do it in a way that's a neutral way, because we put so much pressure on prospecting, even in sales, in any business. We still have to talk to people. We still have to learn to connect to people. And we've lost a lot of the art of just being neutrally open and talk to people and ask permission. What do you think about it? What are your thoughts? What do you think you would do? Where do you want to be in your life? And talk about, how is it, do what you want to get to where you're going that you need to be. And this is something Jon knows well too, Enrico, and Russ teaches this. So then we have the traditional, I have people in the digital marketing space, a way to create websites that are very quick, efficient, easy. So as a solopreneur, you don't have to carry all those hats. There's another reason to build this community is provide resources that are impactful, that keep you in a spot to stay in your vision and not in the doing this. Because once you start into doing this, you're doing it in your business. The next thing you know, the business is driving you and you lost it. You got to be in front of your business. You got to be in vision of it. And this summit is putting that type of caliber of people in place to sustain all this and work as a group, as a tribe, and build from it and support it. Welcome everybody in and bring life back into this world and live it with purpose. And so I also have conscious, revolutionary mindset people like myself, visionaries, and people that can transform the mindset, the way you think about things and approach the way you approach your life, and how to transform it to where it serves you. Find out what doesn't serve you. What are you carrying in your history that you're putting into your future that you don't even know that you're doing? for example, that we make anywhere from 25,000 to 85,000 decisions a day. Your subconscious makes about 90 to 95% of that. You don't have the results in life you don't want. Well, hey, open up the hood and look inside and see what's going on that's causing that. Something's missing. You need a few spark plugs to be replaced in it. And so we have that, and then transformational leadership coaches. And really, that's what I fall in as well. But the vision is to create the community, create a way that people feel safe, that we leave space open for, let them nurture, grow. We nurture and grow in a way being that supports them and supports the people they care about or who they're meant to be. So that's really the whole lineup of the summit over the 10 days that it launched. And I'm really excited about it. It's really got some beautiful people. And I didn't go knocking on everybody's door. God provided us a lot of these speakers. I asked, I remember probably about a month ago and said, Lord, I need the speaker. And you know what? I made a declaration. I didn't pick up the phone, but somebody out of the blue just called me on the phone. Hey, do you have room for the summit? And it was just the right person I needed at the right time. So he provided. So that's what we're talking about, Rico, too. John, get on the field.
Yeah.
You have no idea. You just have.
It's very exciting, William, about this upcoming summit and how it can relate to whoever wants to get better health, wealth, and discover their purpose, because wherever they are, it can always get better. And this summit is a tremendous resource from experts who have already taken their journey down the road, and they can always get better themselves. And that's the neat thing about the human doing and the human, version of who we are, is that it really can make a difference when you get the proper coaching, the proper input that is nurtured within you. And these are what these coaches are all about. This summit is all about, is being able to bring out the best in you when you are ready to hear it. And, it depends on your timing. Like, I think this summit coming up can be replayed probably in January, and somebody might be in a whole different place where they are as they go for the better for their own selves. And so it really is a mixture of all that. I want to speak real quickly on the wealth part of it, because there's such a big equation here that will get us to our purpose. And when you do have financial freedom, and when you do have it, you have to make these shifts. And one of the shifts that I've made in my life is I come from a corporate world, and now I am understanding network. And you said not network marketing as much as network distribution. It's almost like network connections.
It is.
On the financial side. And when you look at it that way, it can be very, very positive. And one of the things that we have is our healthy coffee. And we also have other things that will make you not only healthier, that you can share with others. And at the same time, it can help you when you share with others. There is a financial reward there too. And there's nothing wrong with increasing your financial freedom to do the things that you want, as you are aligned with what you're sharing. And in this case, it's healthy coffee. We got a lot more information on that.
Right. Money is a tool, folks. It's not to love money. It is the love of money. Okay. That's the idolatry part. Money is necessary for us to live. But money gives freedom. And when you have freedom, you can you'll have more room to live out your purpose. You'll have the wherewithal and the resources to be impactful to other people and your own life.
Absolutely.
So there's no negative about it. It's just how you view it.
Okay, you guys, I think it's about time we're going to wrap it up here. So, William, I want to really thank you for being here. Thank you for being a great guest, and thank you for all your efforts, and thank you for the summit, and thank you for having John on your summit as well. So we're really looking forward to it, and we'll definitely put it in the show notes here, how people can join in and watch the whole thing. And so, you have any last word, John, and then we're going to wrap it up.
Yes, I do. What I would like to do is share a free gift, and it's a fundamental gift. And what it is, it's a manual that I put together. It's an easy read. It's an enjoyable read. And I think it's really all about the people that we're talking to, and it's called the Divine Self-Care Manual.
Mhm.
Self-care manual. And it goes right down to the very fundamental of who you are as far as your health goes. And a discovery that when we do take the best care of ourselves, and this is basically, the foundational piece of this is how we serve God in such a way that we can be our divine self, that we can really serve not only God, not only ourselves, but how we can serve others at the highest level. So that's what I'd like to do, is offer this Divine Self-Care ebook that you and I, Rico, have put together, and we would like to offer that free. I'll put the link in the chat here or wherever we put it, and I think that that can be of great benefit.
It's also in the summit too.
Yeah, that in the summit too, and it's not only free, but it's priceless. It's priceless when you can gain some of these concepts about what self-care is all about and how you can optimally take care of yourself, how you can optimally take care of yourself so you can serve others in the best possible way.
Very good. Thank you, John. Okay, so that's going to be a wrap. So I want to let you know you can subscribe to our show at agelessliving.com/podcast. And when you subscribe, you get our valuable ebook, How to Be Bold and Never Be Old. And then you'll be notified when our next episode is. And also, you can go to agelessliving.com and take our free aging assessment. And if you don't like the results, you can book a call with me, and we'll discuss what health and challenges and aging challenges you're having, and I'll get you going on the right track. So be sure to tune in to next week's show, which is going to be the title of next week's episode is Natural Healing Methods. So I think that's it for today. Thanks you guys for being here. Thank you for being here. That was great. All right. So I like to always end our podcast with Einstein's favorite saying, knowledge without action is useless. So we always give you a lot of good knowledge. And of course, the summit's going to give you great knowledge, but if you don't take action on it, it's useless. So step up and take some action. Go out and make it happen. All right, everybody. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.